my first like 2 years of working, I got everything back.
I did too.
It wasn't much, but it was like a couple $100.
I was gonna say you get $100. Well, I mean, Craig, you know about the new tax they have in Lake County, right? I mean,
well, yeah.
I only found out about that at the end of last year, and I was glad because I didn't have a job for like 6 months. I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about that tax. I wasn't making any money. So,
right.
And got my job where I'm at now. So.
What new tax? What did Lake County do?
Lake County has a county tax now. It's the last one in the state to start one.
Yeah, because they're not getting enough money from the state. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Because
well, every other county, well, Porter County had one. You always paid Porter County if you worked over there across the county line.
I paid Porter County.
Mm-hmm.
You know what was fucked up? When I lived in Portage, I paid Cook County tax. I paid Illinois state tax. I paid
Indiana state tax and Porter County tax. So
and then I paid Indiana state tax, Porter County tax, and then there was another some other fucking dollar amount in there.
FICA.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, that was
without
the fucking main ones. Who is this FICA guy? Why does he get all my money?
So,
that sucks for you guys.
You have the Netflix Daredevil yet? Any of you?
Have not looked into
started it.
Holy fuck, is that good?
Yeah.
Is it? You see, Victor Gischler was talking about that on Facebook. He's like, none of the reviews are making me want to see it.
Dude, there's a scene where Vincent D'Onofrio literally decapitates a guy with a car door. He hits him repeatedly until his head comes off with the car door. I'm like, that was fucking awesome. It's fucking dark and brutal. I love it.
That's a second episode?
Second or third episode, yeah. Because he got interrupted on a date, and it fucked up his date, so he fucking snapped on this guy. He makes a really good Kingpin, actually.
Yeah, he looks like Kingpin. He looks like the cartoon character.
The interesting thing is they make Kingpin out not to be such a. I mean, he's a bad guy, but he's kind of like Magneto. They're both trying to like make a better Hell's Kitchen, but they're both going about it completely different ways.
They're going about it the wrong way instead of the good way.
Well, Kingpin's trying to do it by taking over the underworld and making everything one way instead of having all these gang fights and all these problems. He's trying to burn the city down and rebuild from scratch. He goes, he even in one of the episodes, he actually sits down and he explains why he's doing what he's doing, and it's a great explanation. And you go, that's valid. I can see where someone would come up with that.
Gotcha.
He goes, I'm sorry people get hurt, but he goes, but to recreate something, to think that nothing bad would happen is a fallacy. You know, people will... What the fuck was that?
That's my mixing board being real fucking touchy right now. It might get loud again.
Oh, wow. Is that a dance rave? Oh.
All right. Should be better now.
I heard somebody say it was close to the Miller run of the Frank Miller run of Daredevil, which is interesting because I like Frank Miller's writings.
I would say, yeah, I would go with Frank Miller. No, without a doubt, I'd go with Frank Miller. I mean, completely. It's really dark. It's really good though. I know you guys, especially you, Travis. I know what kind of shows you like. You like the kind of gritty, bloody, violent. Yeah, there's this scene where a guy literally impales his own head, so he doesn't give up fucking things he said. And you watch him go, wham! And he just drives it right through his eye. I was just like, holy fuck! Did not expect that to happen.
That was pretty much the only reason I liked Sons of Anarchy, is because of how fucking just
brutal,
gruesome it was. Yeah, it was brutal. That was the best way of putting it.
Yeah, no, you're gonna. This is pretty fucking gritty, and I really enjoyed it. I really wish I had more of that coffee. That was really good coffee. Friend of.
We should actually wait to talk about stuff like that until we're ready to record.
So my wife got a. Have you ever had Cafe Bastillo? Like a clump?
Yes.
That stuff is pretty fucking strong, dude.
All the Puerto Ricans at work love Cafe Bastillo.
Yeah, there's a reason for it because it's liquid crap.
I don't like it.
Really strong.
Really? I don't like it. I don't like the taste of it. there's something about the taste, like it's too bitter.
No, I understand. Okay, so I mean, this cup's fairly large, right? I put when I made the coffee, I made 5 cups, so I put a tablespoon for each cup, and I still had to put 3 tablespoons of coffee in here with some milk to get it to not be so fucking bitter. 3 tablespoons of sugar and cream. Well, actually, Fair Oaks Farms started making their own milk, which ain't too bad.
Fair Oaks Farms better be making their own milk because that's all they've been doing for years.
Well, no, it's called Fair Trade or something like that. It's like FAIR, Fair Trade or Fair Milk or something like that. It's it the way they produce it, it cuts out all the lactose. They get rid of most of the lactose in it, so it's lactose free. But it's still cow's milk, so it's higher protein, higher calcium concentrate. It kind of tastes like cream.
Yeah,
just not sweet. It's still really good. I enjoyed it. Like I mean, I drank it straight. It tastes pretty good with like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So I mean, but it wasn't like but there's no lactose in it, so anyone who's lactose intolerant could probably.
Well, that means they're starting to sell it up by you now, then.
Yeah,
because every time they've been doing that for so many years, but it's always gone south. I guess they sell all the way down to Florida, but it never comes up here because I guess we're being covered by Deans.
So they had to fight Deans.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like Kroger can't get in because of Strachan Van Til's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got that Whole Foods going in, and that's just fucking everything.
Whole Foods actually does a lot for the food industry.
I just don't want to pay that much money for a mango. I mean,
yeah.
It's like it's not hard. I mean, seriously.
You know what's interesting? New Jersey is really expensive to live in. Like, it's ridiculously expensive to live in.
Okay.
And I fucking hate living here. But you know what's interesting? Whole Foods does not cost much more when you consider the benefits to eating what you buy at Whole Foods. Like, if you're going to buy regular grain stuff like cereals and even a lot of cheeses, you can get organic cheeses elsewhere that are a little less expensive. But when it comes to meat, when it comes to most of your dairy products, I mean, you can get Kerrygold butter anywhere, and you're going to pay for Kerrygold. You're going to pay for that. But when it comes to meat, when it comes to what do we usually buy at Whole Foods? Like our baby food, the meat, specific drinks, various vegetables. When it comes to like organic food, it doesn't cost as much to go to Whole Foods as you would think when you compare it to other places, and then you're not eating all the garbage that those other places have. So you're going to pay on average probably a quarter more per product, if not, but on average it's going to be a quarter. Some products are going to be like $3 more. Other products are going to be roughly a quarter more. Some things are going to be cheaper, just depending on how it's made. The organic stamp, no matter where you go, makes it more expensive, though.
That's why I wouldn't mind going. If now that we're getting a Whole Foods out here, I would like to see them bring in a Trader Joe's. I like Trader Joe's.
Fuck
too.
Trader Joe's.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Go to Aldi. It's owned by the same people. It's the same shit. It's just less expensive.
See?
Actually, Trader Joe's is the organic version of Aldi's.
They'll deal with it.
Aldi's has all the fucking like canned food and frozen food that's inorganic. Well, it's not natural and organic, whereas Trader Joe's is 98% organic. And Trader Joe's is much more expensive.
Really?
Yes. Trader Joe's runs right along the same lines as Whole Foods.
Yeah.
You pay to go to Trader Joe's.
You pay for the name on the package.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, pretty much. Like these here, mini milk chocolate peanut butter cups are Trader Joe's, and she took the price off them. They're like this little fucking box here is like $8.
Fuck that. It's all right.
I think it's up there. It's like, why the fuck would I pay that? Just because they're fucking organic.
I'm pretty sure I could go over to Albany's and get that for like half the price.
Yeah, and then they'll taste better too.
Fuck yeah, it will be. Albany's. Yeah, you get gummy bears out there for like $13. Fuck you, I'll spend $5 and get a box like this.
I got a whole big bag of gummy butterflies and gummy bears, and I can't eat any of them because my teeth are still fucked up.
Oh. Didn't you go get that fixed? I thought you were going
to go. So 2 weeks ago, I think we talked after I had the root canal that didn't go as well as it should have.
Right.
So Saturday, I went in to have the tooth yanked out. He got half the tooth out and gave up because he couldn't get me numb enough. And then asked if he wants me to start, or if he wanted me to let him start on the other side. And I said, "Fuck you." I said, "No, we're not going to do that." Went to another dentist over here who can do the oral sedation. Yeah. And I told him what happened, and he goes, "You know what? I'm just going to refer you to an oral surgeon." So Tuesday, I got an appointment with the oral surgeon to get a consultation. And this dentist is recommending 5 teeth to come out all in one shot.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You're going to be fucking drinking your meals for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. You're going to smoothie.
No, that many teeth, you're not going to heal in fucking a week like most people. You're going to be drinking your food for a month.
Well, see, it being an oral surgeon, he'll stitch everything up.
That's true. You will get the stitches.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
I have to get...
They can just go to town and you won't notice, whatever. You know?
Exactly.
I have to get 2 more done.
When I'm awake, just make sure my pants are back on. And
yeah. Before you wake me up, just put my pants back on. That's all I ask.
As long as Brian Cranston ain't my dentist, I should be all right.
Are we recording yet?
Oh, I've been recording for a while.
Not as much. I say every once in a while when Craig disappears from our screen, I'm pretty sure he's working, getting everything running, so we don't know.
Well, I got it. I just figured I'd start the recording so I didn't have to fuck with it at the last second, and then,
Yeah, hell, my teeth finally fucking healed up. That was great. Not gonna eat on one side of my head. That was wonderful. Got into an argument with my fucking dentist over it. Because I was going back like every day because she kept packing it in, doing one of those like a pack to make sure it's with clot.
It's a clove pack.
Yeah. Well, I went on like a Tuesday, and then I went back on Wednesday, and then she said something along the lines of like, "Well, if there's pain, call me, but I'd like to take a look at your tooth again." I said, "Okay." So I came back the next day, and then she like tore into me like, "I think we have a miscommunication. I told you if you came in for pain." And I said, "No, no, no." And I looked right at her. I said, "No, you told me if you were wanted to check it again to make sure it didn't clot." I said, and I was about ready to go, "Don't need your bitchiness, little lady." I don't fucking. She's a tiny woman who's like in her mid-20s. I'm like, I don't need that shit from you. I don't care if you did. I'll knock you the fuck out right now. I wanted to grab her by one of her fingers and be like, "You want to stop pain? I'm going to stop your pain. We're just going to fucking equal out here, all right?" Fucking miscommunication. I'll get you fucking miscommunication. God damn it.
Dennis loses his shit in the dentist office.
Dude, yeah, man. I was in pain for like a 2 weeks solid. I was in pain. And like they're like, I didn't want to keep taking fucking painkillers because I'm like, I might as well just be chewing them like fucking Pez. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So let's get this fucking fixed. And then, we had a miscommunication. Yes, evidently we did. You shouldn't have told me to come back so you could check on my fucking tooth then if you didn't want me to come back. I was like, that's
Dennis, all. You love painkillers, don't lie.
I used to, yes, very much so. I mean, I used to have remember, everyone has their, your body's a temple. Mine was an amusement park. I did a lot of things with it for a while. Had a roller coasters all over the place, some clowns. I mean, it was all a lot of fun. That's what she even asked me. She goes, "Well, how do you feel about tramadol?" I said, "They're like aspirin. It doesn't do shit for me." She goes, "Well, how about Vicodin?" I said, "Well, it depends. What's the strength on them?" She goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I looked at her. I said, "I can chew I can do about 1,500 milligrams and still drink and have a fun night." I'm like, "Let's talk about this here."
Whereas somebody like me takes 500 milligrams and that knocks him out for 6 hours.
Yeah, no, I'd just be like itchy. That'd be about it. I think 3 of them. I'd be like, "How you doing?" "A little itchy." "Are we going drinking? Because I want to go do stuff." Let's go. I feel great though.
I was taking them and then going to work at an Atom Smasher all night.
Nice.
That was fun.
Was Adam pissed?
He was. Oh, we lose Travis?
Good, we'll make fun of him while he's gone. So how you been, sir? We haven't seen you in a week or so.
Yeah, no, I worked midnights for about a full week and a half.
Hated every second of it.
Yeah, now I'm back home.
How was the trip in and out? All right.
Hour and 20. It was all right. All country roads that I took. I think I gotta call him back. Oh, it's trying on its own. Okay.
It must have timed out or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Stupid technology. But yeah. Shit.
I don't even know if we've actually started the show or not yet. What the fuck was that? Oh, somebody in a Camaro.
Is that the new Camaro?
Some dude in a Camaro.
Fucking bitchin' Camaro. Bitchin'. I haven't heard listen to that song for fucking ever.
It is a good song. Dead Milkman.
Yeah. No, man, you're supposed to say bitchin'. Oh.
There we go.
I'm not sure what happened there.
You were fucking around.
On Netflix, did you notice, Craig, that they have Red vs. Blue 12 seasons?
Oh, did they really?
They put up all 12 seasons.
I saw they had new seasons. I knew they only had up to season 5 last time I actually looked at it. But
all the way through, I said, oh. And because I was bored, I went to my favorite season 6. And I'm like, wait, they have season 6, 7, 8, 9. Right on! I don't think I've seen all of 12 yet, so I can go finish 12.
Nice.
Because I was with you, man. Like, was that 10, 9 and 10 were really kind of, well, actually 8, 9 and 10 were kind of they got funny around 11 again.
Yeah, 11 and 12 picked it back up.
Yeah.
Towards the end of 10, it was all right. Like they were starting to go back towards the original Red versus Blue idea.
Yeah. Watch 11. Watch 11.
I'm actually
Spot. Here, Spot. No,
I've seen quite a bit of 11. That's the one where they get the two mechs.
Yeah.
In Halo 4.
Spot.
And I haven't seen any of 12. I don't think.
No, I know they have 12 on there. So
I'm interested in seeing how they go now that what's his butt has died.
Monty? Well, Monty was just brought in when I met Monty, he already had other people there working with him, so someone probably took over his spot.
Yeah.
Like nothing's going to change. Someone was working with him
because he pretty much was doing Ruby at the same time they were doing Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like the artistic director, though, wasn't he? Like he was the person who
Ruby was like his baby, man.
Yeah, that's also on Netflix too. If you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Ruby's on there too.
I didn't watch it.
I'm interested in seeing what direction because they basically shut the company down for a couple of days afterwards. Like the whole company shut down.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because it's a small company. But
you don't see that a lot right now, like in general across like groups on the internet because it's not really. It's very young in general,
Right.
As a whole, that you don't have a lot of people passing away. I mean, I know with Giant Bomb, I believe they had someone pass away, one of their lead guys, but that's like 5 people, so that's really small compared to
Yeah, it'd be like one of us dying.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do?
Oh, the show'd go on, unless it was me.
Yeah, unless it was Craig that was fucking crash and burn.
Well, no, the show just wouldn't look as good anymore.
It'd be back to audio only, you guys sitting at a cardboard table.
Yeah.
Otherwise. I just saw everything move out to Jersey because it'd be a hell of a lot easier to do the show.
Yeah.
What'd you move your family for? So I could keep doing the show.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be miserable out here, trust me.
I would. I've heard stories, man. Not just from you, but other people who've talked about Jersey, how much it sucks.
I had a funny thing. Like today was Gabrielle's niece's birthday. She turned 3 today, and we went over to their house, and I had a couple of interesting conversations. One was a conversation with her cousin, who is being battered or was being battered by her pretentious piece of shit husband, who I really want to make a visit to and see how badly he wants to batter me, and see how manly he wants to get with me. But that's a different story altogether. But I was talking to another guy who grew up in the area that I moved to, and when he heard that I was from Colorado, he's like, "I understand why you moved out there now." He's like, "It's obviously not Colorado, but it's one of the prettiest places in the state. So living here where I'm at makes me feel better about my life than living, 20 minutes away from New York City, and it was just all congestion, fucking traffic nonstop, 24 hours a day. It was bullshit. I fucking hated it. But now that I'm out in the woods again, I'm all right. I'm happy."
It's the loner / Unabomber type.
No, it's the full on redneck in me that's like, I'm happy now that I'm away from civilization. I'm happy because I'm gonna be able to plant a fucking garden, and my worry about my garden is not fucking teenagers running through it or some asshole running through it. It's deer eating it. It's like I'm gonna be able to plant a garden. I
gotta wrestle a bear. Fucking bear! Goddamn!
I'm getting a dog. I'm getting a dog finally. Like, these are the things that I couldn't have living closer to the city, and I was miserable because I knew I was never going to be able to have a dog as long as I lived up there. Mostly because I lived with Gabrielle's mom, which was strenuous in its own rights. But yeah. We won't go there either.
I couldn't go without having my dogs.
I'd like to meet your new dog.
Oh, he's an idiot. He's a great loving. I mean, he's one of the sweetest dogs in the world. He'll climb into your lap, even though he's like 80 fucking pounds. He'll sit on you, and he loves you to death. But he's just an annoying bastard sometimes. I was laying on the floor because something twinged in my back, so I was just trying to lay flat. So what does he do? He just comes and sits in my face. I'm like, dude, really? Seriously? Sniffing me. I'm like, get off me. He's just wagging his tail. I'm like, oh my god. Honestly, not a pretty dog.
Yeah, this is the puppy that I'm thinking about getting. She's a pit lab mix. She's 7 months old. She's really quiet, and she's currently, in this picture, she's being very submissive. Well, she's being very submissive to the other dog that lives at the house that she's at right now, which is a full-blood pit. But from what I understand, she's been spending quite a bit of time in a kennel because she's not fixed yet, and she went into heat like 2 days after he brought her in. So, in order to minimize the mess, she's been in a kennel quite a bit. He says she doesn't bark, she doesn't whine, she's pretty much housebroken, she's pretty much kennel trained because she just goes in there and doesn't throw a tantrum.
Yeah, the same with my dog. We gave him his spot just because he has someplace to go, and it's like, I'm annoyed. I'm just going to go in here and lay down.
Yeah.
So, well, it's like in the morning because it's behind my couch and like where I have the kennel set up, and I know he's so fucking annoying. I'll come home from work, I'll sit down and I'm changing clothes, and I'll hear clink clink. He's actually trying to hit the door open. He's like, hey, you want to open this for me so I can get in? I'm like, what the fuck? And then sometimes he scares the shit out of me because I'll walk past and I won't know he's in there. All of a sudden I hear the door burst open and he comes running up. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, fucking accidentally kick him in the face like.
Oh, he's good. He will come right up to me and put his head right up against my leg when I'm trying to walk. I'm like, yeah, so I'm rubbing his head as I'm going up the stairs. I'm like, yes, oh yes, you're a good guy. Don't worry about it.
You're a good. Who's a good boy?
Oh
who's
God,
a good boy?
How tough you are. You do that with every fucking. Who's a puppy? Who's the puppy boy? Who's a good boy? You're the good boy. Like, gets all excited. Mine doesn't bark either, really, until he sees other dogs, and he gets really excited because he wants to play, and he'll bounce up and down, like he's got springs. He's like, like he won't bark in the house. He doesn't growl. He doesn't do anything. He's just usually he sounds like some pervert because when he gets excited, you see he breathes heavy. All right, Pervo, I get it. home. He doesn't bark. It's like, I get it. Yes, I'm happy to see you too, fucker.
I'm worried about two things. We might go tomorrow afternoon, Gabrielle, the baby, and I, to see the dog. I'm worried about two things. How Thorin will react to the dog, because he's never seen a dog that size before.
Right.
My mom's got two dogs. She's got a fucking Scotty, and she's got a Pekingese, which are both very small dogs.
Actually, the bigger dog will probably be better off as long as it's fairly well trained. The little dogs are usually the ones that bite and snap more often.
Yeah, well, then that's what I'm thinking. Because Thorin is not the most gentle. Like when he goes, because he's still a baby, he doesn't understand the pressure he's putting on.
How old's the dog?
7 months.
7 months. If you could have got it a little bit younger, that would have been better. But that should still be pretty good. Because it's young enough to realize, and then especially if you're around all the time, alpha the fuck out of it. You got to alpha male it right away. Let them know.
Well, that's the thing that I'm not as concerned about, because I don't think she'll jump over. Because right now we kind of confine ourselves to half the house, because I'm working on the other half. I'm putting floors in, I'm painting, I'm doing all this stupid shit on the other half of the house, so we're confined to half.
You mean Stevie had a long discussion about that on Facebook? I know.
Yes, Stevie and
I saw that discussion.
Stevie and I have been domesticated relatively quickly.
Doesn't he prefer Steven now?
Yes, it's Steven.
He's Steven now. So the dog will be on the other side of the wall we have built for Thorin, so Thorin can't go over to the stairs. He can't go over to the other side of the house. And I honestly don't think that dog will jump that little fence. So the dog will have time to get used to Thorin kind of being up in its face, because every time it comes to the fence, he's going to lean down and like he was doing to the little dogs today at the birthday party. He'd lean down and yelled in their faces. And the little dogs were like, oh, fun. And then started looking him in the face, and he'd back off and then he'd get back in their face, and it was hilarious. It was a good time for about 5 minutes, and then everybody lost interest. Whereas I was like, don't let your fucking shitty little not dogs lick my son in the face, please.
I'd be more worried about the nipping. That'd be more my thing. Your dog bites my kid, it's going to a Korean family. All right? Let's see.
Well, they had some, these dogs had some fucking crazy long name.
Yeah.
But they look like a mix between a Pekingese and a Chihuahua.
So useless.
They were this big.
So they're useless fucking dogs. That's what they are.
Yeah, Fenris, my cat. Craig, your fucking kitten's bigger than these dogs.
Yeah.
Why have dogs like that? That's just a waste of fucking dog. I mean, it really is. But any wild animal, a hawk could pick it up if they're not careful. I mean, that's not a dog.
well, Dennis, I mean, no offense, but what use does your dog have?
I didn't want it, and I couldn't get rid of it. So
okay.
That was not my choice. That was the end of a country song, is what I had with that dog. Lost my house, my car, my wife, my kid, and I got stuck with a dog I didn't want. I mean, that's a fucking perfect country song. So
for portion of why I really want a dog, and I really want a dog at the house, is I'm back in bear country.
Yeah.
And bears are, for whatever fucking reason, afraid of dogs. When a bear hears a dog barking, unless it's a domesticated bear, and I say domesticated with quotes, bears that are just roaming neighborhoods. I have wild bears, full-on wild bears that are still afraid of human beings. So they're afraid of dogs. There's something about dogs that make them really afraid. So to have a dog to start barking whenever there's a bear around, that's a plus. Because I might not see the bear, Gabrielle might not see the bear. The dog will know the bear is there, because the dog will hear it.
So that's why you need a gun in the house.
I have a gun.
I mean a real gun. Not some piece of 22 piece of shit. I mean a real gun.
Dennis, you know what kind of gun I have. I have a real gun.
So do
Well, I was actually watching
I-
an interview with Bill Burr, and he claimed that the 22 was the perfect gun to have inside the house because of the fact that someone's coming at you, you fire off that 22, it's not going to go through the wall and blow your dog's brains out on the other side of the wall,
Right.
and
Well,
it's enough to kill the guy, and you don't need hearing protection, so you can hear if you miss that first shot and the guy doesn't sneak up behind you.
I will agree with Bill Burr on that point, but when it's a bear, you're just gonna make it mad. That's all. That's
Yeah.
gonna,
You're gonna, like, he's gonna fucking like flinch and be like, "What? A fucking mosquito just bite me?"
But
yeah, I mean, let's talk about mass ratio too. You know, there's no
Yeah,
human.
but we have mostly black bears up here. We have bears that are relatively small. They're skittish. They're afraid of humans. They're afraid of being hunted. They're afraid of gunshots. They're afraid of everything. I don't want to hurt a bear. I think bears are majestic animals. I don't want to have to shoot a bear.
Hippie.
No, because I don't want to have to explain it.
Explain. Why'd you shoot the bear? I was bored. What the fuck do you think I shot the bear for?
I don't want to have to explain it, and I don't want state agencies showing up at my house to try and get rid of the bear either. Because once you call in a bear in a residential area, they hunt the bear down, and they usually trap it and take it somewhere else. Whereas if the bear is not bothering anybody, it's not bothering anybody. I don't want state agencies combing my backwoods and like, oh, we got to find this bear. No,
yeah, because I'll find your still.
Maybe.
Oh, I got a gin mill going on. What's the fucking problem? I mean, come on.
But speaking of,
Uh-oh.
let me fucking get off topic real quick. I left it over at her brother-in-law's house. There is an orchard not too far from my house.
Makes hard
They
cider?
sell hard apple cider, which is really good. It's tasty cider. But they also make a spirit from cider, from apples. They distill apples into like
Applejack.
it's I guess, except it's not whiskey mixed with apple juice, which is what Applejack usually is.
I mean, but I'm just saying it has to be like Applejack because I mean you're talking about the fermentation of the sugars.
Yeah,
I always thought Applejack was cereal.
it's fucking tasty though, because it has the warmth and the smell of whiskey, but it has the taste of cider and apple juice because it's cut with apple juice. So it's 20% alcohol by volume, which is not terribly strong, but still enough to get you fucked up if you really want to tie one on.
Drink a bottle of it.
Yeah, if you're serious about it and getting fucked up, it's gonna get the job done. But it is tasty as fuck, and we found it by accident because we were driving by. The road got closed down, so we had to find a different route back home. But we stopped by. We're like, well, here's this orchard, and we're probably gonna go there next fall for pumpkin picking and go to the pumpkin patch and all that stuff, because the little guy is gonna want to go do that because that's a ton of fun for kids.
That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what kids fucking love that shit, and I kind of love it too because I'm a bumpkin and don't mind fucking.
And you're a goth, and you like that Halloween shit.
I fucking love Halloween shit. In fact, I don't think you can see it, but I have a bat hanging from my fucking ceiling fan here.
Oh.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah,
you can.
that's totally a bat.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I'm that fucking goth. I have a bat hanging from the ceiling fan.
Where's your guy liner at?
It's around somewhere. I haven't worn it in a while, so. But it's really fucking good. They have a tasting room. The lady's all nice. She looks like a Baptist. But to be honest with you, she looks like a Baptist. Very nice lady. She's pouring us these drinks. It's a tasting room. It's all free. She gave us like 3 glasses of cider because there's 3 different tastes, and she gave us 2 fucking like snifter like tubes of the apple whiskey, basically. I walked out of there feeling very fine. And I was like, and I spent about $60. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to go home with some of this.
You twisted my arm on this one. Whew,
Anyway, what was I talking about? Bears.
I don't know. I thought when I brought up the moonshine still that you were going to mention that James Best passed away this week.
Who's James Best?
James Best was Roscoe P. Coltrane. 88 years old.
From
Dukes of Hazzard.
Jesus Christ, dude! Really?
See, I wasn't big on that show. I wasn't as big as you guys on Dukes of Hazzard.
You.
Wow.
I know the character names. I don't know necessarily,
Well, I mean, I
don't know the
Pico Train. I'm like, I know exactly who that is. I mean,
Yeah.
Not it is.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. I guess he had like pneumonia or some shit.
That's a shitty way to go.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah, one of the last of the villains on Dukes of Hazzard. Because I think Enos is still alive, and Enos and Cletus are the only two left.
Oh, the bad guys?
Yeah.
The Duke boys are still alive. I mean,
Yeah, the Dukes are both alive. Daisy's still alive. Cooter's still alive. Boss is dead. Uncle Jesse's dead.
Oh, yeah, well, if Uncle Jesse made it this long, that's one tough old bird, I'll tell you. He'd be like, what, 100 right now?
Yeah. He died in like 2000.
Yeah, he was like 100 when they were filming the show. So
Denver Pyle wasn't that old.
You looked it. I saw a thing on the internet the other day. It was a picture of what's the guy that does the diabetes commercials?
Shit.
Brumley.
Yeah, I know. I saw
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. They had a picture of Wilford Brimley and they had a picture of Tom Cruise. They said Wilford Brimley was 51 years old when he filmed Cocoon. And it was a picture of Wilford Brimley during Cocoon.
Nice.
And then the picture of Tom Cruise was 51 years old when he filmed Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen that. I've seen that before.
Like, it's crazy to fucking think about that. Wilford Brimley looked ancient in fucking, like, he looked like he was on his deathbed in Cocoon. And he lived for another fucking 20 years. He was old as fuck, though.
Denver Pyle died December 25th, 1997. And he was only 77 years old.
He looked old as fuck, though.
Yeah.
The beard does that, man. Beards really make you look older than you really are.
Yeah, I went to Tartan Day Parade yesterday, and there was some Scots out there that looked. They had giant fucking beards. Their beards were fucking pure white. Every once in a while, you'd see a guy with a fucking red streak or two through his beard.
Yeah, so all guys with beards. How old are you? 40.
Well, that's like Boss Hogg, he was 64 when he died in 94. But I guess he looked really, really unhealthy. But most of that run, he was wearing a fat suit, so he looked fatter than he was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was because he was unhealthy. Is that why?
No, apparently he was in decent shape. I mean, he wasn't, in great shape, but he was still...
Yeah, wasn't he? He was fluent in Japanese, too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He was like fluent in a couple languages, and he would talk to other people. And
well, I guess they had some guest star on, and I can't remember his name offhand. Let's see. According to John, Andrew Robinson was a guest speaker on there, who was also, or a guest star on there, who also knew Japanese. So there was a scene between him, James Best, and
Yo, my name's Saad, and I don't give a fuck.